Hello, bro.
Hello, bro.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Amazing victory for Arsenal. Obviously, they cruised into this one against Lens. Their first leg was, I think Lens won that match, and we expected to see a tough game tonight, but obviously, should I say the outcome was kind of surprising for me. But I'd like to ask you, what do you think about the matchup tonight?
Yeah, same with me. So surprising because you saw is a lens side during the first leg of this tie coming in to play good football. They dropped the ball on the ground. They played the game that you were wondering, Arsenal were better in playing this kind of game. Where is this team coming from? But today, it was just more like turning the coin and seeing the other side of Arsenal while you are seeing the negative side of Lens. And what happened? Arsenal scored them 6 goals, 6 unreplied goals. And it's on history now that for the second time in history, Arsenal is repeating this feat that 6 different players scored 6 goals in one game, one European game. In fact, it happened in 1934/1935 league, European League. And Arsenal, guess what? Arsenal took that year. Arsenal dominated Europe in 1934/1938. In 1933/1934. So
So, what does that now mean?
it's telling you that it might just be. Oh man, but then see, no mind them. This one is just initial gra. When the Chiefs are down, by the time they start meeting who? Bayern Munich. Yeah, Bayern Munich has been threat to them. But let me also tell you that Arsenal are joint goal scorers, highest goal scorer in the Champions League as it stands right now. Match day 5, and they are jointly holding that position with Manchester City and Atletico Madrid. All of them have done 15 goals so far, so averaging 3 goals per game. And that is so nice. In fact, I was even surprised. The Bayern Munich that we are scared of, that Kane has been scoring, have not done more than 10 goals. Yeah, they've not done more than 10 goals in
That's total.
Yes, they have not done more than 10 goals. Okay, but then you ask the question, Arsenal, what next? Well, the good part is that they are heading the group, so they might not meet the big boys. It might just be, all those maybe who are they again? I can't even call them again. But yes, they might not be meeting the Real Madrids of this world. They might not be meeting the Atletico Madrid of this world. PSG, we really do not know where they are going to fall in right now. But then I know that Arsenal. But then, if you don't beat the big boys, how will you make it to the final? Okay, but mind you, the Champions League is Arteta will not want to leave at the round of 16. Okay, so everybody want to avoid the big boys. Let's at least see what we can do by quarter-final and maybe semi-final. Okay, but then it might also be so much to ask for, because in football you might even be dodging the bigger side and say, okay, you want the smaller side, but the smaller side might just disgrace you and just wash you down naked. Okay, that might also just happen. But then it has also shown, this game has, this season has also shown that the project that Arsenal is building is coming to fruition. Because this is for the first time in 7 years that Arsenal will be making it to the round of 16 in Champions League. So big kudos to them out there, big kudos to Arteta, big kudos to the young guns out there that are doing tremendously well. But the question now becomes, will they be able to sustain this momentum? The next game, the match day 6, is really not. There's really nothing to fight about it. I believe Arsenal or Arteta will be bringing out the young boys out there to at least tighten their legs and see what comes out of it. And it could have been a game for what's his name? The midfielder that just got injured, Vieira. It could have been a very good game for him, but then he went down to the stitches. He has a groin injury and he might not be available to January. It could have also been a good time for persons like Partey to at least experience the Champions League, okay, with Arsenal, and it might not just be that for them. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so moving on now. Let's assume, assumption. Let's assume that after all said and done, after the whole battles of the Champions League, then finally Arsenal clinched that trophy. Would you think it would be a well-deserved, assuming, remember I said assuming, do you
Omo,
think it would be a well-deserved
this is
victory for them?
this is fantasy to the race power 10. You've over fantasized. How can you be fantasizing that Arsenal will carry the Champions
That's why I
League?
said assumption.
Omo. I don't see that happening, no. I don't see that happening, no. What do I have to even equate it that? I will equate it that by tomorrow, imagine the naira, okay, becoming $1, $1 to $1 by tomorrow. That's the kind of assumption that maybe. Oh, come on, what a fantasy! I don't see Arsenal pulling the strings. Yes, you might say, okay, just team of 16, and it's a knockout stage. They might just, oh, come on. They still need to do more. Or maybe January, if they're able to get their puzzles together and we see a much better Arsenal side, then one might start thinking about that. And the cool thing about the Champions League that you have so much time, okay, from December 12, between December 12th and 13th, that will be the last match for the group stages, and you now have time. You have the 2 weeks left in December. You have the whole of January. Then you have till the end of February for you to start playing the Champions League, and that means a lot for a club that has a, will I say, great vision. They'll be able to plan, rejuvenate, hold their sides very well, and make sure that by February they are bouncing strong to get it done. You have February, March, April, and May to see if you can clinch that Heineken, that Heineken Cup. Yeah.
Okay, so now, in your own view, can I ask you, what do you really think a team or a club needs to be able to win the Champions League? What do you really feel they need? Like, let's borrow a leaf from Real Madrid. These guys are the highest when it comes to winning this trophy over the years. We have seen what they have done. I think winning it is 14 times, I'll be 13 times. I don't know, between 13 and 14. You see a club like that has been so successful. What would you really say, in your own view, is the secret to winning this trophy?
One, you must have a good pointer, a person in the club that scores goals. One, you must identify that this guy, just like what happened last season, Haaland, there must be one person. It is not just about individual. Everybody has to play well. Oh. There must be one person that will be outstanding. Remember when Liverpool took it? It was Salah. Salah was just pumping in the goals. The time the Real Madrid were just taking it back to Baba, Benzema was just banging in the goals. Okay, you must have that one person in your team. When Messi was carrying it, it was just Messi. When Ronaldo, so you must have it. Okay, it's not the time of Porto. Porto back then during Mourinho, yeah, you will have different persons scoring, just like what Arsenal did today. 6 persons, but man, it's not the Champions League. Just go back to history. You must find out that a particular player in the club that carried the Champions League has been very prolific with scoring in goals. So it boils down to a team that scores goal. If you are not able to score goal, it is not the Nigerian league where you play 1-0 or 1-1. You must be pumping in goals before you be able to pick that trophy.
So for now, do you think Arsenal has a player of that nature?
No, Arsenal right now does not. One will be saying Gabriel Jesus, but you know it's been tough for him. You cannot mention Nketiah. You cannot mention Saka because he's on and off. Martinelli is just coming back from injury. So you just have to. You just have to. It will just take special grace for, oh, come on. Like I told you now, Arsenal, if you are talking about Manchester City, okay, I'll say fine. Okay? If you are talking about Real Madrid, I say yes. There's a new king coming out from Real Madrid. Okay? If you are talking about PSG, I say, okay, Mbappe is there. We cannot come and say Arsenal because you don't have. Yes, now. Yes, they've scored. And also, yes, Arsenal is doing well. You cannot take it away from them. Even in the league, you find out that they are second highest goal scorers in the league. And now in the Champions League, they are top joint scorers, highest goal scorers in the Champions League as it stands right now. So that tells you that the team, they have many persons out there scoring the goals, but you still have to have a pointer that will be banging in the goals.
So, do you think this disadvantage that Arsenal is having, in your own view, not having that particular striker who banks in the goals like the likes of some of these other teams who have, do you think is one of the things that can actually hinder them in clinching this UCL trophy?
Yes, reason because when every other person in a team does not score a goal, let's say for instance Real Madrid, you know that okay, it's a bad day in the office for Real Madrid. What then happens? You see the king is scoring goal, the young king, the Bellingham. He just comes out and scores the goal, and the game will end. Everybody will go home. So, but for Arsenal, you cannot just say that you are expecting. You see this guy, just like the days of Thierry Henry. You know that Henry is still in the game. Henry is still in the game. But this time around, back then, like 2 seasons ago, it was more like Saka. Saka is around. Saka is around. But then he dropped down a bit in terms of scoring goals. Right now, Arsenal does not have that kind of person at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to draw the
Thank you.
curtain at this point. Thank you for
Thank you.
being with
Thank
me so much, and I look to hear from you next time.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
lovely night.
Bye.
Wow.